Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Up to the Minute. It's Friday, September 9th. My name is Sade Campbell. I'm the Enrollment Communications Manager here at Houston Community College. Joining me as my co-host today is Randy Ramsey of Southwest Alternate Media Project, affectionately known as Swamp, and he is an HCC adjunct. She is an HCC adjunct, and going to tell everyone how to find us on social media.
Good morning, Sade. Nice to be here. We are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube, not HCC. There's too many of those. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
There are a lot of those. I had to giggle.
Yeah, no, there are an awful lot. And I'm always like, Hooligans Community Center, what? No.
Yes. For Film Friday, we're excited to feature one of Houston's cinematic jewels, Peter Lucas, who's the communications director of Aurora Picture Show. Good morning, Peter.
Morning. How you doing?
Good morning. We are going to be with you shortly, but first we're going to talk to the man who keeps our automotive department in drive. I didn't write that, but I'm happy to deliver it. Welcome to the show, David Vogel, who is the Dean of our Automotive Center of Excellence.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
Doing well. Welcome back to the show. Before we get into specifics, tell us a little bit about HCC's transportation programs, location, and kind of general information for those who don't know.
All right. So we have 3 different locations for the Transportation Center of Excellence. The first one is the biggest one that houses automotive, diesel, and auto body. That one's at 4638 Airline Drive, right there off Airline and 45. And then we have the new Automotive Center that's out at North Forest, that's 6010 East Little York. And then we have the CDL truck driving at the 555 Community College Drive, that's right off 610 and I-10, off right there by the Budweiser factory.
All right. Oh, and you mentioned quite a bit of specific areas within automotive as they're located across the city. What about the diesel and industrial industries in new energy? How is our curriculum and your program serving that industry?
Yeah, the one good thing about the diesel, heavy vehicle diesel industrial technology program is it opens the doors for several different opportunities, not only to fix diesel, tractors, trailers, or the semis, but also you can work offshore, you can work on construction equipment, you can work on ships, cruise ships, because as long as you have the diesel technology and the hydraulics, anything that has to do with that, you're able to actually go and work on. We have several companies that you'd never even believe hire diesel technicians come to our job fairs. Matter of fact, we have one October 5th at the ATTC Center, hosted by our Career Center. But we're real excited, and we get about 60 students there, and all of them have jobs. People come and beg. Metro's dying for diesel technicians, bus technicians, and they can't seem to get them fast enough because everybody gets a job before they get there.
And we may be selling ourselves short by naming it the Automotive Center of Excellence based on everything that you are describing. So what is the name of the program for the diesel specification?
It's heavy vehicle diesel and industrial technology. And we did just change the Transportation Center of Excellence. So that is the official name now. And that way we can expand possibly into trains and planes and everything else.
Awesome, phenomenal. So Transportation Center of Excellence with a specification in diesel technology will take you pretty far in industries and what it sounds like right into the workforce. What other opportunities exist with our transportation programs?
Well, we have automotive, which is our largest program. And again, it's located at 2 different locations. We have night and day classes. Usually we have over 250 students in that program. It's a 1-year certificate, or you can get an associate degree in automotive technology as well. Basically, it trains from the beginning of introduction all the way to engine performance, and we actually now have several different electric vehicle hybrid trainers that we have incorporated into our program, and we are going to start offering that as CE to the public for like Firestone, Pep Boys, Christian Brothers, and different industry, different companies that don't have the factory dealer training. The manufacturers, they provide their own training, but a lot of the other companies like CarMax and Christian Brothers and all of them do not. So we're going to reach out to them and actually start offering to train. And the city of Houston is very interested in learning electrification and metro, because they're getting, the city is electrifying their fleet starting next year.
Oh, wow. The city of oil and gas. That's quite the news. I know we saw that news come out of, I think it was California, that had projected when they were going to stop selling vehicles with gas. And it sounds like Houston is making the move as well, at least the city of Houston. Yeah, the city's starting with the small fleet replacement. So instead of replacing them with regular combustion engines, anything they replace, they're going to go with electric vehicles. Got you. So they have a somewhat of a incremental plan to move toward this, and I'm assuming learn as they go for what is needed. And in addition to what the city of Houston has going on with, it is what came up during the pandemic was very much the logistics of the deliveries and how much truck drivers are so critical during emergencies, and there's the demand for a lot of commercial truck drivers. How are you all meeting that demand? Well, we have gotten very creative. We're making MOUs, which is a memorandum of understanding, with different companies, and a lot of companies were actually having to use their equipment and their property, where we send our instructors out to train them. They changed the law back in February 7th, 2022, that anybody that obtains a CDL has to go through a higher education program to get a certificate. Oh. It used to be that you could just do it yourself and go take the test, kind of like a driving test when you turn 18. You can just go down there without driver's ed and take it. Well, they changed that law to where every person, no matter what your age is, has to go through a program, and it can't be more than 3 years old.
So David, if you have an older CDL like I do, I'm sorry, Sharday, because I have an old CDL, so I would have to go through the new program, right?
If it's expired, yes.
That's why I was excited to talk to you, because I let my CDL. I don't know if y'all knew it, but I was a short haul truck driver for a while. That's how I paid my way through college.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. But I'm glad to know that I would need to go through HCC to get my new license.
Yes.
And is this change that you're speaking of, is this at a federal level, or is this the state of Texas?
No, it's federal.
Oh, okay. Phenomenal. And that is, and how long is that program? Because I know people who want to quickly come get certified and get into the workforce.
Yeah, so the full time is 6 weeks, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And the part-time is 12 weeks, and it's on the weekends. And we have night classes as well that are part-time. Perfect.
And moving into what I'm sure a truck driver doesn't want to have to deal with, collision and body repair. I know we have a specification in our Center of Excellence for that. For us, what does a student need to know about our programmatic offerings for that program?
Well, that program of auto body and collision repair is 10 and a half months. So you can start in fall and finish by before the summer's over, which is nice. We have a lot of companies that are partnering with us and hiring our students. We got CarMax, Mike Calvert, just to speak of two of them, that actively hire continuously. And they transfer them all over the city to their different locations. And basically, if you like to paint, be very precise in body work, where you got to sand down and make sure it's straight. It's kind of like an artist. You got to have a lot of patience. You got to have a keen eye to be able to tell if there's a wave or not. So me personally, I see a car painted, I think it looks great. An experienced body guy will say, "Oh, that's horrible. Look at all them waves." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But they know what they're looking for.
And I'm glad you pointed that out, because so often people don't understand really that it's a skill set. Some people have a gift around being able to really just identify that, and that HCC is here to help them hone that. And what are the newer and emerging trends in the field? I know we talked a lot about what's coming up in diesel. What else are you all seeing that our students need to be prepared for if they're looking to go into this field?
Yeah, so automotive is one of the ones. There's new paint stuff too. We're more moving to water-based paint, which is harder to paint with. So it's another skill set. But in the automotive, we're slowly moving again towards electrification and hybrid. And right now the dealerships are giving a pretty good warranty on that stuff. But like you were saying earlier, that by 2030, California's stating that they're not going to sell any combustion engines yet. That's going to be real interesting to watch. As we know, California asks you not to turn your electric on in the middle of the day because of the grid. So that's really interesting to see how the infrastructure. So again, with the diesel and all the new infrastructure that's going to need to be built is going to be really exciting for the future for the workforce industry, especially throughout the whole United States.
Yes, indeed. And I'm happy to hear that HCC and our Transportation Center of Excellence is keeping up with those trends to make sure that our students are prepared when they enter the workforce. As many of you all know, HCC is still in active enrollment for our fall sessions. We appreciate Peter, we appreciate you coming on to the show, Dean Vogel, and more information will be posted about how to learn about that program and get enrolled. I'm going to turn it over to my co-host with our next guest.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Dean.
Thank you.
I'm super excited. And now, Peter Lucas, welcome to the show. And thank you so much for taking time out to be here. I know it's super busy over there at Aurora Picture Show. So Peter Lucas, Communications Director for the Aurora Picture Show, our Film Friday host this week, our Film Friday guest this week. So thanks. Why don't you start by reminding us all exactly what Aurora Picture Show is and what you guys do? I mean, I know, and I'm a huge fan. So
of course, and I'm also Swamp means a lot to me too. So thank you for what you do. Aurora Picture Show is a Houston-based media arts organization. We've been around a little over 20 years, I guess 24 years now, presenting artist-made media art. That means films, videos, audiovisual work, installations, media performances, all kinds of unique media experiences, both at our facility and at different venues and even outdoors throughout the year. And then we also do educational stuff, youth education stuff, teaching. As much as we teach filmmaking and media making, it really is focused also just on creative collaboration and critical thinking and encouraging that kind of stuff. So we're doing that year round. That's the general gist of Aurora Picture Show. We collaborate with a ton of folks around museums, arts organizations. We have our education programs. We're working with hospitals, community centers, schools. So we really kind of pride ourselves on working with everybody across the city. So
I know, you know what? I know that Swamp and Aurora Picture Show used to do collaborative stuff, but we haven't lately. I don't know what happened, but you and I need to talk and get back together again. I think the pandemic derailed so much stuff, but I'm super excited to be active again. So I know we just missed your Shorts Festival. Was last weekend or the weekend before?
It was you're talking about Extremely Shorts? That was
yes.
That's our annual Shorts Festival, and that's great fun. That was actually a couple of months ago. We've been busy lately with our summer youth programs, our camps.
You know what? Yeah, we were doing our camps too. So I feel like I lost all of July and August just being with the teenagers. But you have Senorita Cinema coming up now, right?
Yes, Senorita Cinema is an amazing program that we're actually fiscal sponsors of that, as well as presenting a lot of the programs. That's I believe it was the first in the state, first film festival run by and featuring all films by Latinas, and started by a great friend of ours, media maker and curator, Stephanie St. Sanchez. She's been around for a long time. She sort of instigates and organizes this entire festival that's really just a kind of fun celebration of all kinds of films, from completely goofy to very serious work. And Aurora, so that's going on. Actually, that the opening night is tonight of the festival is tonight at Story Hive. And then Aurora is presenting stuff tomorrow and the next day, on the September 10th and 11th. We've got a really popular and great program that they do every year, is Super Shorts, which is just short films of all kinds from around the world, Latino-made short films. And attached to that program is a little mini market, mini mercado with some different local vendors. And we're also hosting a workshop with a visiting filmmaker, Iris Almarez. And then on Sunday, on the 11th, we're doing we're hosting their I believe it's the Houston premiere of feature film called On the Divide. So yeah, we're really busy this weekend with Senior Cinema, and glad to be.
And then Alex Lester over at Story Hive is a good friend, and he alerted me to what's going on. And I mean, I'm super excited. I've made it before and love it. It's a great event. So if you have a chance, get out there because it's well worth it. And then you have Black Star Film Festival coming up soon, right?
Yeah. So
you're just so busy this month.
This month.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it feels like the next few weeks I'd be dying.
Yeah, we're always kind of dying, but we're loving. We present so many different artists and programs. All of the kind of relationships that we're building and things that we're bringing to Houston is so exciting that we don't mind kind of killing ourselves pulling out. But yeah, we're really excited about a program on coming up on September 21st. Black Star Film Festival they're based in Philadelphia, dedicated to presenting film and media works by Black, Brown, and Indigenous people around the world, especially those people using unique and experimental methods. So we're so happy to host a program of experimental short films that they have curated. All of these films were featured in their last Black Star Film Festival. And we've got a great guest who's actually been a friend of ours for a long time, Jason Lopez Cassell, who was here a few years ago. We're so happy to have her back. She's working with Black Star, and she'll be introducing the program. So that's on September 21st. I believe that's Wednesday, September 21st.
And we'll post a link to that after the show. That's great. So exciting. And then if you shoot it to me, I'll send it out to my Swampies too. Okay. How about the Idea Fund? You have a great partnership with the Idea Fund over at Aurora Picture Show.
I mean, it's a cool. It's a great program. Really unique to Houston. There are only a handful of cities that do this. The Warhol Foundation funds this grant for Greater Houston area artists and collaboratives. They're project grants, so they're specific to certain projects, and they kind of tend towards the wilds of stuff that you might not get a grant elsewhere for. And we, for the past 16 years, this has been locally facilitated by us at Aurora Picture Show, Diverse Works, and Project Row Houses. And so these are $5,000 project grants. And it really is kind of like it's titled, if you got an idea, if you have an interesting idea, apply for one of these grants, and you might just get it to do an art project. So those submissions just opened, and the submission deadlines, I believe it's November 7th. So they're coming up, and there's a series of online kind of talks that lead you through the grant and the application process. So those are going on now. The first one was just this week. So there's all kinds of information about that at theideafund.org. And people at any of those three organizations can also tell you all about it too. But
okay, and we'll post a link to that too, which is so exciting. Thank you so much, Peter, for being here. We're so excited always to talk about Aurora Picture Show and everything that you're doing. And you're on my list of people to call this week. So
all right,
it was fortuitous.
Great.
Thank you so much, Peter from Aurora Picture Show. Thanks for being there. And thanks to Aurora Picture Show for all that you do for our arts community, because it is huge.
Well, same to you.
Sade, back to you. Oh, you're muted, Sade. Gotta love being online.
Gotta love it. I have managed not to do that until today. But such a great edition of Film Friday.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to, we learned this little tidbit about you and your prior life as a CDO.
You know what? If you name a job, I've had it. I graduated from Cal Arts with a film degree in avant-garde film. So, there's not a lot of money in it. So, I've cleaned a lot of toilets, driven a lot of trucks, waited a lot of tables, and that's okay.
That's the other side of Hollywood. I started off in television as well, and I was like, I don't know if I like the inconsistency. So I totally get it, and I think what's true for a lot of our students is that they have a plan and a journey around how they fund their education.
Yes. Which is why this Idea Fund grant is so great, because for avant-garde artists, there's just not that many opportunities. So I think that's a lot of fun. And one of the reasons that Aurora Picture Show is terrific is because there's a whole section of folks that they work with and that they bring to town that are so spectacular and unique and really wonderful. I know we have some announcements that we have to get to, so I think I'm up first. Our growth mindset reading circles are back. Fall convocation focused on the impact our beliefs have on our growth mindset. So HCC is forming growth mindset reading circles, and more facilitators are needed. If you're interested in facilitating a reading circle, we'll have more information about that in the post after the show, and discussions are based on Dr. Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success.
Yes. And right along the lines of our Film Friday arts kind of theme, we have our Southwest faculty exhibition that is still on display, as with other faculty artists on exhibition at the district, across the district, The figurative paintings of Professor Darla Barolini are currently featured at our Stafford Gallery, which is absolutely incredible. And the reception will be held next week. The exhibition will run through October 28th. Again, that's at our HCC Southwest Stafford Fine Arts Gallery. More information will be posted after the show.
And then on Friday, October 28th at the West Houston Institute, mark your calendars now for the Beta Check Orman auction, supporting worthwhile professional development opportunities for HCC faculty. It's a really fun evening. There's lots of great stuff to bet on, that you can have for a song. So mark your calendars, and we'll have a post on it after the show.
Yes, and the HCC Foundation is so crucial to helping our students fund their education, especially around scholarships. And if you need help paying for classes, there are a couple different options to make sure that your classes are not dropped for non-payment. If you offer classes, there are payment plan options, and our Eagle Promise program application is still open. Our Eagle Promise program helps recent high school graduates earn their degree for free at HCC. Qualifying students should check out the information after the show to see what their next step is to apply. I think the deadline is coming up right before second start.
And then that brings up that there are shorter fall class sessions still available. So even though fall 2022 has begun, you can register for shorter, more intensive classes with the same course options: online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid in-person, or hybrid lab. Obviously, as always, go to hcc.edu/apply.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. Looking ahead this week, we have Dr. Nicholas Cox, who's the History Department Chair. He'll be here to fill us in on that department that includes humanities certificates in African American, Mexican American, and women's studies. Also for Mental Health Monday, our own HCC counselor Roxanne Francis will return with her monthly visit to share her tips from the counseling department. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Up to the Minute.
Enfoca tu futuro con HCC. Inscríbete hoy para las clases de primavera.
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me and then you just linked arms with me, I don't think you know how much like that helped me. I finally like knew that I had somebody.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.